I'll control the temp if you need. So we got Miami, Philly, which is still good. It's 3-1 though, Philly. I don't think they're going to bury them yet, though. You think so?
I don't think so either. It's a young team, man.
That's
That's
a weird series because they chippy. Like it's so outside of basketball right now.
Ben Simmons went at D Wade yesterday, and I was like, "Yo, this guy's interesting, man." Because D Wade is a goon. He'll break your elbow like he did Rondo.
But you gotta look at it like this. Oh, you were wilding. I remember that. You gotta look at it
that's
like
what I
this
mean.
too, though.
Like he's not a
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is out here.
Game.
He's out here saying pretty much like none of y'all cats is gonna do anything to me. He think it's sweet, pretty much. And he arrogant too with the words. So that's why I was. Because everybody was like, "Oh man, James Johnson, he's 7-0 in."
Remember what D Wade did to Derek Collison? Like D Wade got long track record.
D Wade got some. He got some stuff under his belt. I know. He's just as dirty as Chris Paul.
Real shit, yo.
On the low, Oladipo played bad, bro.
Hey man, and they were still in the game. I mean, he's not a consistent enough jump shooter to be. You know, he's gonna have nights like that when he's shooting all the time.
But yeah, he fall in love with it too much. Like his thing was just like, you know, that fourth quarter, his team kept him in the mix, but it's like, you know, the heroics of Bogdanovic, it wasn't there. Miles Turner didn't have such a crazy game, you know. Like they were getting random. Like Lance played actually good today. You know what I mean? Like Corey Joseph played great on defense. It was just weird, man. Like their team is like all over, but they start playing one-on-one ball the last 3 minutes, and you know
they're not a one-on-one team.
Yeah, not at all.
But you know, at the end of the game, they got to do that high screen and roll with Oladipo. And he's gonna get a decent look, like with the big sagging back. He could get a nice little 15-footer.
I wonder what McMillan's telling them in the huddle though with this whole the Korver, how they running Korver off the hard screen. And then nobody's showing for that. They're like playing so hard on the slip guy. That's just driving me insane. Because I'm like, you rather give up an open Korver versus a possible fumble layup from a big. Right. Like I don't trust Kevin Love right now, and I respect Kevin Love, but
I mean I got respect for Kevin Love, but
he's been wilding like as of late. I don't know, mental is just not there, dog.
Yeah,
you know. But I'm here for the hot takes, man. The slander's been epic in basketball Twitter right now.
Yo, the Dame Lillard, oh my God, fam.
That might be the second best heel turn since IT.
They have been killing this dude.
We've got so many heel turns this year. And I think maybe because guys just want to get retweets or go viral.
You know what? But I'm happy. I'm happy
this stuff is going on.
That Drew Holiday is getting busy because you know people were talking so much shit about his contract or whatever, and you know he's come out in the playoffs and is like, "Yo, I'm a really fucking good player."
And you know what?
Serve my bread.
I got mad when he got paid that money, and it wasn't like it wasn't on some count his pocket shit. This is before his wife, you know.
Okay.
You know, thing. But I just was like, okay, you get here and you not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, that's his body letting him down, pretty much. You know. And then he got right, and then he had to go take care of his wife, and it's like, damn, okay, well, he getting the loyalty money like Mike Conley. That's how I felt. But he really a dog. But he been a dog since he was in Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like
he's not Philly, a bad player. Yeah, because I remember somebody did a feature on Iggy back in his Philly days, because you know Iggy was putting everybody in the clamps. Like it was somebody did a feature about his defense, and he was like, real shit. I think the best defender in the NBA is Drew Holiday. His teammate.
Nah,
I was like, you know, he's bigging up his teammate, but like realistically, like Drew Holiday gets busy and he's been doing that.
But except Jordan Farmer, most of the UCLA guards had straps. Like they sit down and get at it.
Ben Howland, that's all he really cared about. He never coached offense. He was just straight up like, yo, go guard this dude 90 feet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it's good. It's good for basketball though to have a new narrative, a new hero. Now we got some people drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking they're going to do the same thing in Golden State, which I disagree.
I mean, really.
But
But shit, man, this is impressive though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but you can't. What they did in Portland, that's a credit to Alvin Gentry. Like Alvin Gentry decided to blitz Dame and make others beat him. Pretty much, like, okay, CJ will live with you because you just take jump shots. You don't get to the line. And then also, you got Chief, Aminu, and other guys adding to it, but they're not really. Dame is what their offense goes through. So if you take that dude out every play, it's frustrating for him. I mean, he was getting a couple free ones, which he kind of ended up, I think, averaging like 15 or 16 throughout the series.
But there's only one way to beat that, and that's just beat the dude in front of you, right? Like, instead of drawing the big defender to come out so that they can trap you and you got to give it up, like, you just got to spread these cats and be like, yo, I got to beat Drew Holiday. And he wasn't able to do that shit.
It made Mirotic look really good as a show guy. Because he's like, you know what I mean? Like, it made him look like, yo, we should max him. And I'm like, nah, don't. I've been watching this dude all the time. It's just this particular series.
Right.
Like, this series benefited him. Y'all be back saying he mediocre or calling him, a poor man something when they play against Golden State.
I mean, Maxim is ridiculous. Like, he's a nice starting power forward in the NBA. Like, he's cool. Like, it's not a disaster.
He compliments he compliments AD because AD needs to work. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's not a high-low scenario.
Because he can get the fuck out the paint. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not even that Boogie can't shoot, but, like, that shit is suboptimal to have him out there just taking jumpers all day.
Right. This Minnesota Timberwolves Rocket series is I don't want to say interesting. I mean, pat on the back for them getting their first playoff victory since 2004.
That's wow.
I don't know what's going
on. Why not?
Now. I mean,
why not, Jade?
I'm trying to watch
what are
Westboro.
we waiting for?
No, I just was unaware, honestly.
Me and Trey are doing the show right now. Fuck Zach Harper.
I mean, no. Realistically, though, Jay, he can join in whenever and just kind of.
No. I was waiting for him to get into place. Honestly.
Ooh, I just watched this Giannis dunk again. Jesus Christ! He's had a couple of crazy bangers.
All right.
This is off the dribble, getting fouled. Like, get off of me, Al Horford.
All right, we ready?
Back to Santo Domingo, fam.
Go ahead.
It is Playoff Sunday featuring Black Trey, Big Waz, and Jade. And
Zach Harper may or may not be on the way.
Oh,
sorry guys, that's me.
Is that him?
And a dog. And a dog. So
Zach's dog does that all the time. I'm good, man. So just to tease a little story that I'm gonna share on BOMM. Friday night, I went to a house party and No ID was DJing.
Okay.
And then I turned and looked to my left and Dave Chappelle's smoking an e-cigarette and bopping and chilling. And I turned to my right, I see Cameron with some dude from Harlem who literally just came home. It was kind of surreal. It was like one of those, like, LA nights. Oh, right before I was at a Moneybagg Yo concert. So tomorrow on BOMM, I'm going to get into the
It's pretty random, man. It's pretty random LA night, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah. That's
Moneybagg
pretty
Yo
intense
is
right
an
there.
interesting cat, man. I wasn't, like, really familiar with a lot of his shit, but, like, going to a show was kind of an eye-opening experience.
Well, yeah, it always, that's like watching a music video. Everybody's talking about J. Cole and stuff like that and how ATM's visual, the visual helped the song a little bit. If you don't really like Cole, you're going to be like, oh, I I like this song now because
I kind of decided that the people who don't like Cole just never will.
Just don't like him.
It's fine, and it's
I don't think no one really doesn't like him. I think it's just a thing. It's a thing right now. That's all. It's like the worst they could say is
it's
okay.
A thing to make that joke on the internet.
Yeah, but then it's also one of those things that you're like, you know what? I just don't. I really don't rock with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some people that just kind of like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? But his fans can be annoying.
Like, the most reasonable shit I get is like, if I talk to somebody who's in their mid to late 30s, they're just like, his music's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's an element of Cole that's very like, I don't want to say preachy, but he's like, he's moralizing a lot of times. And like an older person is like, I don't need this dude who's younger than me moralizing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, which I completely understand. But like anything else, man, is just bullshit, hate, unnecessary. Yeah. The guy's incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
So what was your favorite game from yesterday?
So my favorite game from yesterday had to be I liked Philly and Miami, man. Just because it gave me that 90s feel. It was just so chippy and ugly, and guys are just bumping bodies, and and all of a sudden
literally dragging each other to the floor.
Yeah, making threats, that weren't going to be followed through. James Johnson's like, yo, this is not what you want. And Ben Simmons is just kind of like poker face to all this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of impressed on his composure on the postseason right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's been here before in another lifetime, but he notched his 5th triple double. That's not something that you see normal.
Well, James Johnson think he hard because he do taekwondo or whatever he be doing.
I mean, he's MMA. He's MMA.
He's like a black belt or some shit.
He's MMA 7-0 on the record. So, I'm gonna respect this gangster, but on the court between those lines, I'm gonna talk tough to him too, unless he catch me out in the streets.
What do you think about Embiid on the comeback?
I thought Embiid was great for them. He sparked it on both ends of the court. They really needed it. I mean, obviously, Sarge and Ilyasova have been doing their best. I don't know what's going on with Amir Johnson, but I think Amir Johnson's just being Amir Johnson. So asking him to do anything else is, a bit much. Josh Richardson is looking like another candidate for all defensive team this year. Right. Not first team, but maybe second or third. And then he also was looking like one of the best players on the Heat, along with Dragic. I don't know. Shouts to Spo, man. Spo is doing such a good job at coaching these guys up because, I mean, I look at it like I probably wouldn't.
This team shouldn't be this good.
They shouldn't be where they are. You know what I mean? Pretty much. But also to credit, these games are close because the Sixers are very young.
Right.
They're going to make a lot of mistakes. And then, surprisingly, if Robert Covington wouldn't have made the 3 early in the game, I would have thought he botched the game like Tony on Blue Chips.
That's a callback. I don't know how many of our listeners are going to know about Blue Chips and Nick Nolte watching going over in the film room with his homies, with his 2 assistants, and they figure out that the dude's been throwing games because he needed bread.
And he failed TV. A black dude that failed TV, man. That's tough, God. Man. That's on brand, kind of.
Swallow.
That's kind of on brand. That's like somebody missing out on communications or something. Go ahead.
My shit yesterday was definitely Jazz Thunder. And I'm not to get all sentimental and corny, but I'm really happy for Ricky Rubio, man.
Salt Lit City, man. Salt Lit City.
So cool. Like, he's knocking down his open shots. He's pushing the pace. He's freaking getting up in Westbrook's grill. I'm so proud of that dude. And of course, your man Russ talking greasy after the game. Oh, he made some shots, but I'm shutting that down next game.
I love it. That's so LA. That's so LA and ignorant because he's going to try so hard to prove his, it's very rare that Russ doesn't respond well. I think he always kind of answers, but this is the thing, doesn't, not to go back to the last game, but every time you watch Ben Simmons play and every time you watch Donovan Mitchell play, aren't you like, damn, that's rookie of the year or that's rookie of the year? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, it's really
it's
neck
hard,
and neck to me, man.
Yeah,
it's hard.
real.
And I don't want to choose sides. I mean, obviously the respective fans for each franchise are going hard for their guys, but I wouldn't be mad at seeing a co-MVP. I know I selected Ben Simmons, but Mitchell's damn good, man.
Yeah, man.
He is really
Mitchell
good.
Gets busy. He gets busy, and like he's damn near impossible to stay in front of. And I mean, what's most impressive to me is his finishing at the rim. Like, obviously, he's not LeBron or Tony Parker in his prime yet, but for a rookie to consistently get to the basket and actually score or draw contact, like his finishing is extremely impressive, man. So, shouts to, and he's only gonna get better. That's not something that cats typically come into the league with. Like, you think about dudes like Dame or even Steph. Obviously they could shoot automatically, but in their early years, guys are like, yo, make these dudes put the ball on the floor. And they had to get better at finishing in the lane, drawing contact, like where Steph is like, he's one of the best finishers now.
He's saying all the right things too. I mean, like, PC wise, he's gonna be marketable. I guess him and the assistant teamed up in the middle of the season and started watching film, and that's where the scoring load took over. And he became aggressive. And he said he's been watching a lot of Westbrook. I don't know why he makes better decisions than Russ. But I mean, I guess because they have the similar build and how explosive they attack the rim. I guess that's the comparison. But overall, like, obviously when you mentioned Damian Lillard, he's kind of shadowed the 3-point rookies made. I mean, 3-pointers by a rookie made. He's on the right path, man. I like him, dude. He's playing hurt. He's passionate. And I see him doing very well if injuries do not follow him in his career, making the Jazz likable. And that's kind of crazy because I look at the Jazz like, I mean, the Jazz don't have annoying fans. I love the Jazz fans. They're like easy to deal with. They're easy to deal with, but I think their franchise history reminds me of Boston, how I despised them as, being a Bulls fan. They always were around. But this new Jazz team is fun to watch. I like the Joe Ingles, Paul George rivalry. Yes, Joe Ingles versus Paul George. It's so hilarious. It's kind of like, Push Off P versus, I don't know. Push Off P.
Don't
was
disrespect my man, yo. Push Off P.
Push Off P, man. Shouts to Push Off P. I thought that was a great chant by Utah. Tapping in on that and getting under Paul George's skin. I don't know what's going on with Melo. He's pretty much on his way out. I don't think he'll.
I know what's going on. He's washed. That's what's going on.
I want to say he's washed, man.
He's washed, dude. Like,
jeez.
There's not a single dude that Utah puts on him that, like, he can't just straight up just beat. Like, draw contact at the rim, get enough space to, the mid-range that he used to be so good at. Like, That was strength. Like, he would body up smaller threes and bigger threes. He was too fast for them. So now he's not too fast for anybody. That's the problem.
Yeah, he moves everything off 2 feet and try to square up, and everybody's kind of clapping it or are contesting it as well. Who do you have? What's your thoughts going moving forward in that series? Do you think Utah have a chance?
I still like OKC, man. I still like OKC. I think they're just, overall they're just better if they can get it right as far as, staying solid in their defensive scheme, like, not get lazy. I think there's a little bit of a lack of respect for Utah on their part.
I think Utah just has a great story.
Right.
That's all.
But that's what I mean. Like, guys like Westbrook, there's no, like, look at how he's talking after the game. After a pure L, y'all got your asses beat. And he still
confidently feels that he's going to, turn this over.
But I still like OKC. I think they'll be able to pull this off in 7 games.
What about Houston, Minnesota?
Nah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're fine.
I mean, Utah's a good team, dude. They're a good team, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's
I
hard
want
for
to
me to
believe it.
get past the fact that your best offensive player is a rookie. It's just like, nah. Like, there's gonna be a way to figure this out.
It feels like non-fiction. It feels like a fictional story. Like, it's just like, and once upon a time, and the happy ending didn't like go that way. Like, maybe next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe next year or something. But like I said, it's been an exciting series, to say the least. This Houston-Minnesota series is really nasty. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think the Rockets are really going to like kind of get this up out of here. I like Karl Anthony Towns and how aggressive he was last game. But certain people were pointing out like, oh, it's the guard's fault for not getting them the ball. But I don't think he's working hard enough to get the rock. You know, and that's what Shaq called out Whiteside about. Like, most of the big men, they don't sit there and establish themselves enough for them to demand the rock in the post. So, I mean, I don't really feel bad for him. Jimmy Butler's giving his all. I'm scared for him. I feel like he's going to give his entire life to Tibbs. I thought he re-injured his knee, but it was his ankle, and then he went back out there and continued to play, only for them to be led by Derrick Rose in the fourth. Is D Rose back, Jade and Walls?
Come on, you know. I hate.
But he went and said that he was back. That's the crazy thing about
it. D Rose determined that he was back
before the game even started. Before the game even started, he came in and said, "Was that who did that? Carl Lawson did that that game."
That's about the least surprising thing I've ever heard in my life. D Rose,
but he was in the hallway and he said, "I'm back," before the game even started. And then they mentioned it when he went on this little scoring run, and I was like, I don't want to hang this over his head and give him that responsibility. I just want to really just accept game by game. When he has good games, pat him on the back for that. You know, because I already gave him a nice compliment and said that he's a role player on this team. And then people were like, "No, he's just washed." And I'm like, I think he can add something, you know. He's adding playoff experience, man. I feel like his career is going to pan out how Grant Hill did in Phoenix. Like, he still can add something. It won't be. All right, I'm asking for too much.
I'm not. I'll never see him as a dude that you can count on for consistent contributions. Like, I'll never see D Rose as that dude again. Yeah. You know, I'd love to be proven wrong about that, but yeah,
he's a Timberwolves Julius Randle. It's like up and down. They love him and then they hate him.
I'm good on that. I'm not good on D Rose, but I just don't really have the confidence in that dude. I've been down this road enough times with him to just know, like, all right, man, miss me, D Rose.
I don't even think we should spend that much time on the series, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think that it's going to be the Rockets in 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's
exactly. They were lucky. They were lucky to get the one D Rose game. I mean, fortunate of that. And
it's nice. It's nice. A nice story. They got their first playoff win, like you said, since 2004. 14 years. That's crazy. And that's, you know, good for them, man.
Yeah. Good for them.
Bucks are back. Okay, tied the series.
Ooh, I think the Bucks. They have to still prove that they can win in Boston. That's a tough environment right now.
They're just better. They just have better players than Boston does. Like Boston again,
they're not being coached.
More prepared.
But they're not being prepared and coached for that. So that's why they can lose a game. And I think that's bad because Prunty, I don't know who he needs to call. Maybe FaceTime Jason Kidd in the huddle or something, and try to figure it out. Because at this point, obviously, you got the Greek Freak, you got inspired Jabari Parker when he gets minutes. Think about it. This team wouldn't even be in this position if John Henson's not hurt and Thon Maker gets this time. Thon Maker's averaging 5 blocks a game right now in the 2 games that he's played.
I'm trying to understand what their attachment to Henson is at all. Because on offense, he completely clogs shit up. Like when you start him, Giannis, and
he gives up a lot.
Bledsoe, it's just like I mean, I don't understand the Henson thing. Like, the commitment to playing him in this series is weird to me because they're not gonna beat you up on the boards. Like, you can play smaller. I think Giannis can figure out a way to just, play straight up on Al Horford. Like, I don't know.
Man, I try not to beat up on Giannis so much. He still rubs me wrong, man, his shot selection sometimes, because I feel like he should be doing what Ben Simmons is doing. I feel like he can get there. He doesn't have to do all the, like, wiry dribbles, but he's agile and long enough to get there where he can pretty much finish at the rim. Like, obviously he finished powerfully. He pretty much murdered Al Horford today, which was enjoyable. But at the end of the day, I want to see him dominate. If we're going to put him in top 5 conversations, it's not because he can score 30 points a game. I want to see the top 5 conversation be backed up by him leading his team to victory. And what I mean, not because of the tip was great, like balls. As far as him putting his team in a position to win, but setting Middleton up for good shots. And his team hasn't been shooting well. I don't even think Bledsoe's even been doing that great. Like,
Bledsoe's been terrible.
He's been bad.
He was decent in game 3. He was okay. But for the most part, he's been freaking terrible.
I feel at home, he's been super inspired. Like, he feels like that's going to heighten him up. But when he goes to Boston, he can't play like that. And I feel like Brogdon's been giving him better minutes. Even Delly.
Yeah,
100%. Delly's probably 60%. I can't really say what Brandon would even give right now. You know what I mean? Like, because he hasn't been involved in the series. So realistically, I like what Delly and Brogdon have been doing. The energy they've given. Forcing Rozier to shoot the 3. They have no answer for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's been amazing this series. Jason Tatum shows flashes, but he's still kind of one of those guys that, it's gonna be an interesting case. If they can, if Milwaukee can win in Boston, then they got it. But if Boston puts them away at home, then it won't be a Bucks and 6.
No, okay. So we're 2-2 headed back to Boston. Who you got?
I got Boston.
To win the series.
To win the series? To win the series, I said Bucks and 6.
Boston and 6.
I wanted Bucks and 6, man.
They're gonna figure it out.
But they have to figure it out though. But they have to play smart. That's the thing.
I'm gonna go with Giannis, man. Like, I just think
he's gonna take over.
I just think he's just way better than everybody on Boston.
But that's clear, though. No, but that's not a doubt. No,
and Middleton has done his thing, and they just got to be a little bit better than what they've shown. Because I don't think Boston's outclassed them in any sense.
My thing is you got to look at it like this.
Better prepared.
The reason why I say that he needs to be better is both ends. He needs to be clearly yo, this dude right here. You know how we watch any game? We can watch, LeBron play. We can yo, LeBron's the best player on the floor, despite other all-stars on the floor. I need dominance. I need to this game shouldn't even be that close. You got Marcus Morris having good games. You got, it's frustrating because I look at it okay, is Boston this damn good, or are they playing down to their level?
Nah, it's just Boston's just way prepared, man. They put themselves in better spots to succeed more consistently. They make the game as easy as they can on themselves. Because again, they have a freaking coach who's figured out how to do. He knows his personnel, and he knows how to
kick Prunty's ass though. We can't kick Prunty's ass. Prunty's just here so he don't get fired.
Yeah,
that's it. He's just riding it out. He's just riding it out into the summer.
It's fine. I get it. I'm just saying. It's just, it's like a broken record with the Bucks. Everybody has the same exact complaint about them, but it's just, it's annoying to watch. I still think they're going to ultimately win the series. I got a lot of faith in Giannis.
So Jay, you got Boston in 6, and Waj, you got Milwaukee in 6.
Yes.
Okay. I got the Bucks in 7.
Bucks and 7. I mean, I'm thinking 7 games could be an option too, but I like the Celtics in this series.
All right. My Raptors gave up 2 games in Washington. not their best showing today. Man, in the fourth quarter, their offense just bogged the fuck down, and it devolved into just straight up just one-on-one. DeMar DeRozan trying to kill people. Kyle Lowry, I mean, he like a lot of times he don't even look to score. He's not even looking at the basket a lot of times in these these more.
Well, I will say that they asked him to take a step back on his scoring load, which was a crazy situation. I mean, because they fell in love with Van Vliet, and then obviously OG became in the lineup, and he's picked up the scoring, and DeLon Wright's been kind of real good for them. So it's tough, man, when you tell him that because basically DeMar struggled today, and then he got it going. It took for him. He had like 12 free throw attempts in the first quarter, and I'm like, geez, like what I mean, like what's going on? But the adjustment for him, that was a really bad loss for them. They let John Wall take over the game in the fourth quarter after Bradley Beal was fouled out, which was a BS call. But yeah, like, I mean, the Raptors are doing this thing again where what we all love. Like, I mean, I know obviously you're pulling for them on some, like, I don't know if it's real or funny.
No, I mean, I think they got it. I think they're good enough to beat all the teams in the East. Like, bottom line, like, I'm not like some Raptors super fan at all, but like, I look at their team top to bottom, like, I don't see why they couldn't beat anybody. And that's including Cleveland with LeBron. I mean, like, look at this Pacers here. I mean, we can get to that, but like, I just think they're just as good as anybody else. When they're putting it all together. Today was just, today was a stereotypical old Raptors team where it's just straight up one-on-one, no ball movement. Everybody watching DeMar or watching Kyle Lowry run a terrible pick and roll. And I don't want to beat up on Lowry. He wasn't terrible today. Like, 7-15, made 4 threes. Like, he wasn't terrible. But in the fourth quarter, this guy's your point guard. He's supposed to be getting you into shit, getting you into actions and all of that. None of that was happening.
Well, here's some numbers for you, Oz. The third quarter, Wizards won that quarter 40-29 in the third.
Right.
And then in the fourth, it was fairly close, but they were playing from behind. They won that quarter 26-18. So a lot of stuff going on there. Rebounds was close. It's way too many turnovers for the Raptors. They had 18 tonight. And they just really didn't shoot too well from the three. But like I said, they can't trick those games off and let John Wall single-handedly will the Wizards to victory.
Yeah, I thought their defense was fine after, and of course, Bradley Beal but definitely the best, scorer, especially one-on-one late game tight situations. He went out, and their defense was fine. It's just their offense was disgusting, man. It was just terrible to watch. So,
similar to Milwaukee. This is just too much fun. Right. Once they get back to what they do.
They're much better at home, their crowd. I'm sure their crowd is going to be hyped up, if not kind of nervous, because it's the Raptors. Like, I had some positive words to say about the Raptors on my Twitter today, and a bunch of Raptors fans hit me back with like, "You must be new to this Raptors shit." Like, you're way too optimistic to be an actual Raptors fan. That's not how things tend to work for us. So, I think they're fine ultimately, man. I still think they're better than the Wizards. When they're running their stuff, when their bench unit is clicking, they're still better.
Was it this tweet was every championship level team faces a level of adversity in the playoffs. We're still good. Hashtag we the North.
Hashtag we the North.
I just love looking because when when you do the We the North hashtag, there's like a red basketball at the end. I just think that shit is so fire. So I love using the hashtag.
So you only tweeted that just to get the hashtag.
Just to get That's the hashtag on.
Yeah, I've done that myself. Same guy running your Twitter as Amin.
That's
apparently.
Funny, man.
Lately, but
you guys are hilarious. So who do you guys got in that series?
Toronto?
Raptors.
You already know. Toronto all the way. They gonna figure this out.
I would go.
You got what? What?
Because I
remember before this all started
I chose the Raptors to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, so I'm going to stick with them. So we're going to go sweep with the Raptors. Yeah. So Raptors.
What do you remember starting, Jay?
I was saying that you had said the Wizards are going to be a problem for the Raptors.
Yeah. I mean, the last few years, every playoff series with John Wall and Brad Beal were both healthy. They've been competitive in every single series that they played in. So, I knew they would be competitive, but
yeah,
I just think Toronto's better.
Is Portland the West Coast Washington Wizards?
Man, Portland, man. Portland.
It was some interesting. It was some interesting takes from Dame. It seemed like Dame was ignoring, not really kind of giving credit to Drew Holiday's defense on him. Through his exit interview, which I thought was very interesting. He just pretty much was like.
What did he say? I didn't catch his.
I think he pretty much was just giving credit to pretty much to the defensive scheme and not singling out because I think somebody asked pretty much hey man, what happened there? You know what I mean? And he kind of was like, oh, when one team makes adjustments and it's not like you got to go play Sacramento tomorrow and then go back. This team is just playing us. So, and it's like, nah, fam, he had you on clamps a couple times, but Junior just not gonna give him that credit. And I'm rooting for Drew to have another big series against Golden State or whoever. Golden State. I don't see San Antonio pulling off the miracle.
Nobody does.
But yeah, I just want to, I feel like he's being disrespected, and obviously he played really exceptional. He outplayed Dame that series. So,
and the thing is, they gotta break up the roster because there's no way to actually make any upgrades or changes because they sunk so much money in the guys like Evan Turner,
Myers Leonard. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right.
Oh, come on, Jay. Relax.
He said, "What package did he get? It's funny."
Man, relax.
So you think Portland should split them up?
They got to. They have to. So, there's no other viable option, man. This thing has run its course with
whoa. Don't they just need a third scorer?
Yeah, they just need one more player, though, Waz. I don't think they blow it up. Because they haven't been – the whole culture wasn't even the same before Stotts got there. And Stotts hasn't been there that long.
There's nothing else on that team, They got a good culture. They got two good guards. And then it's there's an extreme drop-off after that.
Yeah.
I think once every 2 years, basketball fans want a reset culture for their team, especially if two stars aren't working. Because we've been doing this scenario with DeMar and Kyle, John and Brad, tandems.
But the thing about the Raptors is that they get better every season, regular season wise, anyway.
I thought the Blazers got better this year. They won the division. They finished third. They just happened to run up against a matchup that just didn't work in their favor.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I felt
you got to be crazy to mess with that. But wait, didn't I see something about Stotts being checked out? I forget who tweeted that.
I don't think so though. I thought the guys.
Sorry, someone did tweet that. That's private information. Oh, sorry.
Wow, really?
Well, you can boss it over yourself.
Me?
No, you didn't see that, Waz?
No, I did not. I missed it. Y'all been going crazy in that chat. I've been kind of tied up.
There's something, I don't know, maybe he's interested in the Orlando job. But anyway, I wouldn't touch it because Kevin Arnovitz would always say this.
I've seen that as well.
He would say this about the Grizzlies. Yeah, you know what? The second round of the playoffs, if you get there, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's some of these teams. I wouldn't mess with it.
In Stott's defense, you got to look at it like this. The last two matchups he's had against the Golden State Warriors, who both went to the finals, those 2-year teams, right? And then finally you think, okay, I get a breath of fresh air, not the Warriors.
A depleted New Orleans Pelicans.
Right? Depleted. They have no Boogie, and they got punched in the mouth. And they got to them. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't like Portland didn't compete, but they just had too much. No one expected Mirotic to play like that.
There were no adjustments, though, from Stotts.
Yeah, he definitely got outcoached. He got outcoached for real.
Amin was saying something about people getting on the ESPN analysts. 22 analysts at ESPN all picked the Blazers.
So it was the Pelicans' actual NBA account that hot take them.
That trolled back up. Was Amin somebody who picked the Blazers too?
Oh yeah.
Yep. It was a straight sweep.
It was a sweep.
It was a straight sweep. It said 22-0. That's crazy. So they fact checked and said, look.
Speaking of Amin getting things wrong, when Le Batard plays that montage from 2016 of Amin just being completely wrong about the Cavs, it's like, it's just highlight after highlight of Amin being like so confident. Like, they can't play offense. They can't play defense. They can't do this. And then, of course, the Cavs win the championship. I listened to that shit last week. I was crying, man.
That's the fun thing about giving a hot take, though, man.
Yeah,
listen, if we all got it right, we'll be placing bets in Vegas.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Exactly.
That's the fun. But I mean, obviously this is an era where people like to prove people wrong. So, hey, have fun with it. Because I know I make some bad, like me and you, we said the Sixers wasn't going to make the playoffs this year. And they came for our ass.
KD went down. KD went down last year. The Warriors lost 3 in a row, and I on a podcast told Ethan that I thought they were going to lose to the Utah Jazz in the second round.
Oh man!
So yeah, I've gotten things completely wrong before. It's not a big deal. Hey man, this Cleveland win inspires no confidence.
Wait, when did that happen?
Last year.
You didn't really.
This is last.
He brought it up.
I said that, son. I said that. I was like, yo, KD might come back, not 100%. The Jazz, they actually historically play the Warriors super competitively, defensively, because they always play Waiters and Gobert, and they beat the hell out of them. They were one of the few teams that actually play their two bigs and were beat up on the Warriors. So I caught myself drinking the Utah Jazz Kool-Aid. I was like, well, maybe KD won't come back 100%. The Jazz match up good. Mind you, this is fresh off of a 3-game losing streak. I was in panic mode.
Nothing will ever beat the panic mode of Ethan in 2015 when they got down 2-1. I don't know, guys. This is different. I don't know.
I mean, is Miami done?
Different. That locker room is different. I don't know, guy. I could feel it. They said, let's not guard Tony Allen anymore. And that was it. The series is over. They literally made one adjustment. The series was done.
You're sick, man. You guys are sick. So, man.
Were you in Miami for the games, I mean?
I was not. No, I was here, right? Yeah, I was in Phoenix. I was in Phoenix for both those games, I think.
Nice. Is Miami finished?
I mean, man, it's 3-1 I know it's become like a punchline for people. That's hard to come back from, man. That's what made Cleveland doing it such a big deal, man, because the thing is hard to come back from.
Right? You guys can't doubt LeBron.
Oh, there he is.
Finally.
Oh boy. LeBron.
That feels like a Royal Rumble.
That win inspired no confidence, man. This is just like this. I'm looking at the Indiana players. I'm like, these dudes should not be kicking your ass like this. What's
effort? It's effort too, though, man. Like them dudes don't do anything. They don't box out. They just point fingers. LeBron, he does his thing on the offense end, and then it's kind of like he just kind of like smacks his lips at stuff that doesn't go right.
But to me, like that second half, he didn't get to sit. You could tell he was tired, man.
He looked exhausted.
Yeah, at some point it's like, come on. Like at some point I do feel for him that whole man, I got to do everything. And that's a lot of this looks a lot like Miami 2014, man. I got to do everything. I got to do everything, huh? And look, we're going to win because I will do everything, but
it's annoying.
Yeah, exactly. It's about this is inconvenient for my life.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to boast about Utah right now?
What? My Jazz? My Utah Jazz?
Your Jazz, yeah. And your Rubio.
I told you this series was over. At 1-1. I told you.
Hey, before the series even started, I went on Levitar and said they're going to roll the Thunder. I said they're going to roll them. Yeah. I said they're going to roll them.
Y'all smoking.
And
come on. Trey, what's up? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Clarify something for me. If you're a reigning MVP and you're going against the point guard in the league that you respect the least, and you don't even consider him to be anywhere close to your level, doesn't deserve your respect at all on the court, you don't have to worry about his jumper. At what point in the game are you deciding to bite on a pump fake from this person on the perimeter when they're 33%? Yeah, at the 3-point line, you're going to bite on the pump fake so hard that you're going to almost jump over Ricky. As if
he jumped like he was Reddick.
Absolutely.
Ricky Reddick out there.
And you're going to get waxed.
Don't attack my man's IQ like that, bro.
Hold on. No. I don't. It's not the IQ that I'm attacking.
Impulse.
It's the impulse. It's the it's the motivation. It's this is what I wonder from him. Is he so worried about Ricky Rubio destroying him playoff game after playoff game after playoff game that he doesn't even know how to play his own game anymore?
Nah, I think that's taking it apart. This is what I would say. First of all, the moment the Thunder didn't draw either the Warriors or the Rockets in the first round, I knew they were in trouble.
Yep.
Because there was no way they were going to look at Utah. They're like, the Utah Jazz. Who are these niggas here? Like
that's a fact.
That's what.
Yeah,
they
totally didn't respect them. Yeah, they still don't respect.
They still don't respect them.
They're getting their ass kicked.
As evidenced by a press conference where you're not mad about losing, you're mad about Ricky Rubio taking your lunch.
Right. Exactly.
That's what you're mad about. That's what you're mad about.
He goes,
you're not mad about y'all laws.
I'm gonna shut that shit off. I'm going to shut that shit off. The hell you are.
Bravo.
Because that's exactly what they want you to do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he might actually do it. And guess what? Somebody else going to go off.
Donovan's going to go for 50.
Yeah, there's just no...
Relax.
There's no cohesiveness. There's no attention to detail. There's no execution. And like I said on Lebitard show, it's a team full of guys that when the game gets tight, everyone wants to live their own Kobe commercial. Yeah. I've got to save everybody.
Right.
Give me the ball. Get out of my way. Like,
Paul George looking down at the bench saying, who can I cast in my next Gatorade commercial? That's all he's looking at right there.
Oh,
that's
boy.
Funny.
And
now, all right, guys. So
now we're going to start killing Push-Off P. We're going to start killing
Push-Off P. I already came for Push-Off P earlier. All right, guys. So I just want to hear your predictions. Philly, Miami.
It's a wrap.
For Miami?
For Philly. Yeah, Philly's got this. They're going to wrap it up in 5.
It's tough.
Amin?
I am seriously
because Amin got to go back to Miami. So he don't
like a couple of weeks. Man.
All right, man.
TSA, hey, those TSA cats know who I am, man.
All right, this is close to home for Zach. Houston, Minnesota.
I mean, I feel pretty good about Wolves in 6 at this point. I'm not trying to get too high on this Game 3 win.
I'm gonna say Rockets in 5, man.
Yo, hold on. Let me just throw this out there, man. If you're Karl Anthony Towns and you had the first 2 games that you had, where the hell do you get off at doing the stare off to the distance because a couple of air balls?
Who the hell? Were you searching for Carmen San Diego?
Hold on. You just got here, my man, and we started like a week ago, but you just got here.
No,
Who the hell?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Amin. Here's the thing. It was great. It was perfect. It was perfect taunting.
Listen, you only liked it because it worked out with your tweets, man.
My thing is this. My thing is this. There are only 2 types of people that get to do that, even in a series that they're down 0-2 in. One of them is if you've been balling in first 2 games and your teammates ain't help you out. So Jimmy Butler could do that. You don't get to do that. Mr. 6 points a game, whatever it was. The other type person is Lance Stevenson. Doesn't matter what the series is.
I don't care.
Lance can do that.
Got 2 points.
Lance can do that. Lance can do that down 20. He can do that. I don't care. I don't care. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I suggested this like a couple of months ago. I'm going to bring up this thing probably as a formal request. I request that every time Lance Stevenson's team gets eliminated, the team that beat them gets to carry him on with them, right? Because I can't watch playoff games without this dude, man. This game,
wait. You saying Lance Stevenson is an Infinity Stone? What are you saying right now?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me
pretty much.
He sat for like 2 minutes, and it was the most boring it's not even went on a run. I don't care. It was the most boring 2 minutes of that game. I'm like, I was sitting there like, I was like, what's wrong, man? This game is close. Why am I into it? And I saw Lance on the bench.
Like, out there going crazy.
Came back in and immediately put someone in a headlock. Like, come on, man.
It was perfect. No, it was perfect, man. And now we're being compared. People are taking screenshots of the play, saying like, you have to hate LeBron to think this is a jump ball. Like, no, man. No. It's Lance love, man. We got Lance love. We don't care anything about what LeBron's doing right now. We just want to see.
And the thing is, he started doing this at the height of Heatles mania. Like, he started doing this when it was like, these is the biggest, baddest dudes in the conference.
He'll still be doing this. He'll still be doing this when those two are in the big three together.
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait for Lance to be in the big three. That's going to be amazing.
Oh, man.
Nah, man.
Shouts to all those and them people.
No, when he goes to the big three, that's all them cats that don't play any of that. Trying to do that stuff. Kenyon and Ron Artest and those guys, he might kill him.
Boston and Milwaukee.
Celtics.
I picked Bucks in 6 before the series, but I don't even feel good about those 2 wins.
Bucks and 7 for me.
Is Brandon gonna get any minutes? Like, what's up with that?
Nope.
Well,
Prunty's making a call, so that's on him. That's all I can really say. But then again, I think that the flow of the game has been so far removed for him that I don't know if it works. Like trying to ease him in.
I would say Bledsoe had some really, really ugly minutes.
No, Brogdon really should be starting right now.
Brogdon played well, but Bledsoe. I mean, there's a point where I'm like, you
even Delly gave better minutes than
Delly.
Bledsoe.
Yes, Delly with the most Delly play ever, by the way.
Oh yeah, the scoop.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That was definitely a grit play.
Two types of people could make that play: Delly and Lance Stevenson. Only two in the league in the country.
For sure, definitely.
Only 2.
Or Trevor Booker.
Trevor Booker had to like flip it volleyball.
Yeah, just a little tap.
All right,
pretty much playing awful for 3 out of 4.
Oh no, he's garbage. He's been playing garbage. And again, you don't get to play garbage and then talk big talk.
Like, do the Cavs have this in the bag?
I think so.
Yeah, they're gonna win, but it's gonna look ugly for the next 2 wins.
Yeah, I feel like any chance that Indiana had was tonight.
Yeah.
This feels like it reminds me a lot of the Pacers Heat. Was it 2013?
Yeah, that's
remember
the one where Bosh got hurt.
The one where and they got the split down in Miami and they came back.
That was the Paul George layup,
and
right?
they were up 2-1, and it's like if you win Game 4, man, he might be done. And LeBron just went crazy, and that was the end of that. You know, it reminds me a lot of that.
It's 2 things that's guaranteed in life in the series when those 2 is involved: is that you're going to get a Lance meme or Kevin Love get hurt. Like either or, you never know, man. It's crazy. We are due. Is it?
I got a question. I got a question for Waz. How worried are you about your Raptors right now?
Ooh,
I'm not that worried, and it's because of the Wizards' own dysfunction, right? Like if the Wizards had any semblance of organization or like they had a real plan, I'd be a lot more worried. I think the Raptors just played bad today. I think they'll be fine at home, man. The Wizards it's a weird ass team.
They all look like they just met.
I don't want to change. I don't want to change up my pick, man. I'm gonna stick with the Raptors, dude. Even though I think that gang sign John Wall is here to stay. I think that he's going to make it official.
See, this is the thing. Wise, you're right. They're dysfunctional, but they're in true dysfunctional fashion. When things are going right, they're top of the world, man.
Right.
They out here like
high-fiving, diving for hitting balls.
They're hitting the OTB on payday. That's what they're feeling right now. And so, for Toronto, I think the most disturbing thing was you look at how they lost control of that game. They reverted back to old habits.
Yeah.
And if you think about, the idea of changing your identity, it's much like someone saying, "Oh, I've been in the gym and I changed my form." But when push comes to shove, that muscle memory kicks back in, and their muscle memory kicked back in the worst way with a bunch of iso ball, stagnant play, and then they're feeling down about how they played offensively. Come back on the defensive end, they're not executing and not focusing at all. And for a team like Washington, all they need is confidence and momentum. Look, I'm not changing my pick, but man, I was just like, that was disappointing. That was disappointing. I did not think. It's not that they lost; it's that they lost playing like that. You gonna go back and play like it's 2013, 2015. Right. That's the disappointing part about it.
Raptors in 6.
Oh man, sadly, I want to say Raptors in 7.
Is anyone else surprised every time Ty Lawson checks into the game?
No, because he's been actually good for them, surprisingly.
No, but
it's just like I've seen him the last completely out of my consciousness for real as a hooper.
I keep forgetting he's on the team until he checks in.
Oh, see, I've been following that closely. That's the reason why I know. That's the only reason why I know.
All the China cats. Trey was heavy. Trey was heavy on the China trail this year.
Yeah, I was, man. I never watched Chinese basketball, but yeah.
How's my guy Jimmer doing?
Oh man, he's about to get him a statue, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I think he broke the scoring record or something like that. But all he does is just stand in the corner and shoot threes, man.
That boy was made for China.
Made for China is funny.
Usually made in China.
Not made in China.
Not made in China, but made for China.
You want me to shoot it every time I touch it? Yeah.
That's all they want to do.
Exactly.
Say no. Consider it.
Much.
I think the last thing we needed Amin's opinion on his pick for the Blazers.
I mean, like, my favorite thing is, like, Tom was in the group chat today. He's talking about that's because all the media people are in the bag for the Blazers. I said, Tom, what was your pick? As far as I'm concerned, I saw one person pick the Pelicans. Tim Bontemps was the only dude I saw pick the Pelicans, right? And he picked them in 6.
Ethan would have.
Ethan would have. Yeah. No, but like my thing always comes back down to, bro, I didn't play in this series and I didn't coach it, right? You told me, if you said, "Hey, Pelicans gonna win this series," and I said, "Why?"
Somebody would have laughed.
Hold on. I know if someone said Pelicans gonna win this series, and I would say, "Why do you think that?" You tell me they were going to say because Terry Stotts won't make a single adjustment through 4 games.
Right.
If you say that, then I'll be like, man, you really called it. Boy, you knew. Man, you must watch this thing harder than I do. Right. Terry Stotts doesn't make adjustment. But absent that, like, you can't, like, Pelicans.com, they don't know. They're picking the Pelicans to win the title, man. Like they don't know.
Yeah, they're obligated to pick the Pelicans.
It is literally the easiest position to be. I work for the team. Right. I work for the team. There's no other pick I can have. I can't have another pick. So it's like, yeah, all right, good for you. Like, I get it. They won. Good for them. They did. They had the game plan.
Tweet your little Pelican GIF and move on with your day.
Move on.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, but the idea that they would talk trash to the people picking and not the people that actually played, like,
right?
Man,
they're one of those teams and like I'm glad. Like congratulations, they won. I love what they did the last 4 games, but in terms of like awesome. that Twitter account talking, like you're one of the worst social media team accounts in the league. Like don't get greasy with this.
Yes, now
that's right.
Now, man, let's
you
go.
Are,
right.
You are,
let's go.
Right? Like go ahead. Yes. Yeah, I got the pick wrong. You're bad at your job.
Oh,
you're taking.
Zach said
I didn't think Zach was getting at him like that.
No, Zach said y'all are trash 365. We were just trash on that one day.
Yeah, we were just trash in April.
That's crazy, man.
You're not the worst. I'll say that you're not the worst team account, but you're not good.
Shout out to the video though that they put Rondo, I want to say Brow and Drew Holiday on what happened to that boy, and they kept.
They didn't do that. Hold on. They didn't. Hold on.
No. I said shout out to that account. They didn't do that.
Yeah. Let's just be clear. Let's be clear.
No, I definitely not giving. They didn't do it. But yeah, they could be better.
But again, like my thing is like, I to be honest, I don't. They ask us to put in these picks. I try to make an educated guess. I was wrong again. I didn't know that Terry Stotts wasn't gonna make an adjustment. I didn't know that
Drew would lock up Dame, right?
Well, it wasn't. Well, I mean, because that was a game, but I didn't know that Mirotic was going to average 30 a game. Yeah, like these, right.
And again, you know Mirotic would become a Tumbo.
And if you could show me the preview, the series preview that had those things in there, then man, God bless you, man. I'll give it up to that person. But what you meant? My thing is, I love the people who called me out specifically. I said, you suck. I'm like, and the other 21, nothing,
fine.
huh?
We expected that from them.
I mean, you most hated, dog.
Yo.
Yeah, no, it's Amin 2.0, man.
No, Amin 2.0. I mean, we're good.
2.0. I'm trying to change.
Oh, 2.0. Okay, you upgraded like Bernard.
Doing this.
What's up?
I'm kind of slowly turning the tide on Amin 2.0. That thing with that woman where you were like, could you tell me where you work?
Oh man, that was so
Jane?
funny.
Was it Jane? Hello, Jane.
Hysterical.
Jane raised some questions, and I'd love to answer her questions, and I'd love to visit her in her place of business, wherever that may be. I'm sure it's somewhere that gives her a whole lot of prestige and perspective. Quite frankly.
Here's the thing. Amin 3.0 is just gonna have a machete in his hands at all times.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
We said 2.0. Put it down.
I think that about covers it, Jade.
Yeah. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
Yeah. I shouldn't have a local game at 8:30 tomorrow night.
What's that?
This Jazz game starting at 8:30 local time.
Welcome to Mountain Time, baby. That's how all them games go. All them national TV games. Because you gotta go 7:30.
It was 8:00 last night, which was late enough. Now you gotta go 8:30.
That's a weekend versus weekday, baby.
Kick that shit back an hour. You tell me that the Rockets can't start at 7 p.m. Eastern. They can't have a 6 p.m. Central Time.
No, man. Have you ever been to Houston? Because no one's gonna get to the arena. Like if people get out of work at 5 and you say the game starts at 6, no one's.
Oh wait, wait. It's in Minnesota. It's still game 4.
Well, not this.
You telling me Minnesota can't have a 6 p.m.? Everyone works downtown. The arena's downtown.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. I stand corrected.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
All right.